Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2014, and this is episode 21
Score! JVR! JVR!
of Down to the Wire. You're watching Down to the Wire, the show where we answer 5 questions in 5 minutes. I'm Shawn Da Silva, this is Andres Franken, and our 5 minutes starts now. Question 1. I know the season hasn't started, but should teams consider tanking for Connor McDavid?
No, I do not think that teams should be tanking for Connor McDavid. The reason is that there's always plenty of talent in the draft. Yes, Connor McDavid looks like the sure number 1 right now, but there's a bunch of players that can make a difference on your team. And also, let's remember that there's a lottery system. So even if you play your worst hockey possible and finish in last place, that doesn't necessarily guarantee you the first place in the draft. With that said, there's that salary cap that you got to meet, the minimum amount of wages that you're supposed to be paying your players. I say do the best with what you have.
I agree with you. I don't like the idea of tanking, and I don't think fans would like the idea of tanking. And with that being said, if there was a team pick that needs to tank, probably Edmonton Oilers could probably use a number 1 pick again, or the Buffalo Sabres. That's a team that needs depth, but I don't think the fans would appreciate it, and I don't think the term tanking should ever be brought up in any professional sport. No matter who the player is, he might be a franchise player, but I don't think it's worth it, especially since the lottery system. It's too much of a risk.
Question number 2. Which rookie is most likely to make the Leafs roster on opening day following injuries to Clarkson, Franson, and Booth?
Well, it depends how many of them can't start opening night, and with that being said, I think Josh Leivo is the pick for me. He played 59 games in the AHL last season, 23 goals, 19 assists. He's a strong forward, and I think he could fit the spot for David Booth or even Clarkson if he needs to. He's been outstanding this preseason, playing with Nazem Kadri. I don't think he'd play with Nazem Kadri in the season, but if there's a player that's going to get the shot, it's him. And on defense, if Franzen can't play, I see Stuart Percy playing instead of Corbin Holzer, but right now they're leaning towards Holzer. So,
yeah, going back to Booth for a second, if Josh Leivo doesn't take that spot on the 4th line, I think it'll be a guy like Brandon Kozun. He had 23 points in 46 games with the Marlies last season. He looks pretty good. He's fast. He fits into that new look line alongside Santorelli and Holland. So, if not Josh Leivo, then I think he'd be the next guy in line. And with plenty of time on the clock, we move on to our last NHL question.
Alright. Which new NHL rule do you like or dislike the most?
I'm going to talk about the rule that I like the most. The rule that I like the most this year that has been revised from last year is Rule 38, the video goal judge rule. This new introduction into the already existing rule gives more power to hockey operations on goal and no goal calls, specifically when it comes to kicking in goals. They now say that there needs to be distinct kicking motion in the evidence displayed. Now that's up to the discretion of whoever's looking at it. That can be a little bit subjective. But I think this is going to avoid things like deflected in goals, the ones that aren't on purpose, that can cost a team if it's called a no goal, especially in an important game.
Alright, I'm going to have to go with the overtime rule, and the new overtime rule is basically where teams have to switch ends now before the start of overtime, and I think this will provide a lot more scoring chances because of the longer change where teams have to switch from one end to the other in order to get to the bench, and this will provide a lot more chances, especially with bad line changes. They did research second period where there is a longer change already. There's more goals scored then, so I think it'll provide more chances, possibly take down the amount of shootouts in the regular season, and it'll be more exciting.
Moving on to soccer, is Cristiano Ronaldo going to Manchester United?
I don't think so, and if he does, I don't think anytime soon. He has a lot of work left to be done in Real Madrid. He has a good spot at Real Madrid right now, and it's guaranteed for him in Manchester United. They do want him, the fans want him. They flew a banner over saying, "Come on, Ronaldo." But he has denied speculation that he will be going, and if he does, he won't be going anytime soon. There's a lot of records still left to be broken at Real Madrid, and Ronaldo loves breaking records, so I don't see him leaving anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that the possibility of him going back to United is there, but I also don't think it will happen anytime soon. Like you said, his place at Madrid is solidified. He doesn't have any major issues there right now. I think he's enjoying his time. Real Madrid has had a little bit of a struggle to the beginning of this season, but they're starting to pick it back up. They thrashed, was it Deportivo La Coruña 7-2 last week. And also Manchester United, 8-2? 8-2. And also Manchester United has already splashed down a whole bunch of money. I don't think they have enough to bring in Ronaldo. And even if they did, they would be kicking another guy out of the lineup that they've just brought in, a guy like Di Maria or Herrera. And our final question.
Will Wayne Rooney lose playing time?
I do not think that Wayne Rooney will be losing any playing time. Some people might think so with all the guys that they brought in. But Van Gaal has put trust in him. At the beginning of the season, he handed the captain's armband to him. And I think there is enough room on this squad for him. Yes, I think Falcao will probably be the one playing up front with Van Persie. But I think Rooney still has a spot further back in the lineup alongside Di Maria and Herrera. I think the guys that will be suffering from this change will be guys like Januzaj and Mata, who will probably be seeing the less playing time.
I agree, but at the same time, I think he will see playing time drop slowly, and his best days are behind him, and I don't think that he is the same player he once used to be, obviously. So, with that being said, like Falcao and Van Persie playing striker, he'd have to drop to the midfield. I don't know how effective he'd be in that role. It's left to be seen, and depending on that, he might see his playing time diminish at Manchester United slowly. Even though he was given the captain's armband, I think there will be a slow drop.
And that's going to do it for us today. Those were our 5 questions in 5 minutes. Sorry that we couldn't do an episode last week. Sometimes school gets in the way. Can't really make time for the show, but we try and do it as much as we can, and we'll try to be back next week.
Yep, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you.